Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. Let's dive into 5 conspiracy theories that turned out to be shockingly true. We will journey through the shadowy corridors of history, uncovering secrets that were once thought to be the stuff of paranoia and delusion. From government cover-ups to clandestine operations, these stories reveal a hidden world where the lines between fact and fiction blur. Prepare to be astounded as we delve into the evidence, expose the truth, and explore the implications of these real-life conspiracies. The glitz and glamour of Hollywood, a place where dreams are made, but behind the silver screen, a darker tale unfolds. During the chilling grip of the Cold War, a climate of fear and suspicion swept across America, fueled by the perceived threat of communist infiltration. The FBI, tasked with safeguarding national security, turned its attention to the entertainment industry, believing it to be a breeding ground for subversive ideas. The House Un-American Activities Committee, or HUAC, was formed to investigate alleged communist influence in various sectors of American society, including Hollywood. The committee's hearings, often characterized by aggressive questioning and unsubstantiated accusations, created an atmosphere of fear and paranoia within the entertainment industry. The infamous Hollywood blacklist emerged from these hearings. Individuals suspected of having communist ties, or even those who refused to cooperate with HUAC's investigations, found themselves blacklisted, effectively barred from working in Hollywood. Among those caught in this web of suspicion were the Hollywood 10, a group of prominent screenwriters and directors who refused to answer HUAC's questions about their political affiliations, citing their First Amendment rights. Their defiance came at a heavy price. They were held in contempt of Congress, fined, and sentenced to prison terms. The FBI's involvement in Hollywood extended beyond investigations. The Bureau actively encouraged the production of anti-communist films, using cinema as a tool of propaganda. These films often depicted communists as sinister figures, hell-bent on subverting American values and undermining freedom. This collaboration between the FBI and Hollywood, born out of Cold War anxieties, had a profound impact on the entertainment industry. It stifled creativity, curtailed freedom of expression, and ruined the careers of many talented individuals. The legacy of this dark chapter serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked suspicion, government overreach, and the fragility of civil liberties in the face of perceived threats. In the aftermath of World War II, as the dust settled on the battlefields of Europe, a new conflict emerged: the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union, former allies united against Nazi Germany, now found themselves locked in an ideological struggle for global dominance. In this high-stakes race for technological superiority, the United States embarked on a controversial secret program, codenamed Operation Paperclip. The objective to recruit German scientists, engineers, and technicians, many of whom had been affiliated with the Nazi regime. These individuals, once deemed enemies, possessed valuable knowledge and expertise, particularly in rocketry and aerospace technology, areas of intense interest to the United States. Operation Paperclip aimed to exploit their skills to gain an edge in the burgeoning Cold War. Among the most prominent recruits was Wernher von Braun, a brilliant rocket scientist who played a key role in developing the fearsome V-2 rockets that terrorized London during the war. Von Braun, along with hundreds of other German scientists, was brought to the United States, their wartime affiliations largely overlooked in the pursuit of scientific advancement. They were integrated into American research institutions, including the newly formed National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA. Operation Paperclip was shrouded in secrecy, with the US government initially reluctant to acknowledge its existence, let alone the ethical implications of recruiting former Nazi scientists. The program's proponents argued that the potential scientific gains outweighed the moral complexities. They maintained that these scientists were valuable assets in the fight against communism, a threat they deemed far greater than the sins of the past. Operation Paperclip remains a controversial chapter in American history, a testament to the morally ambiguous decisions made during the Cold War. It raises profound questions about the balance between national security, scientific progress, and moral responsibility. The Dreyfus Affair. In the annals of history, certain cases stand out as stark reminders of the dangers of prejudice and the power of truth. The Dreyfus Affair, a political scandal that rocked France in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, is one such case. It is a story of anti-Semitism, espionage, and the struggle for justice. At the heart of the affair was Alfred Dreyfus, a Jewish artillery officer in the French army. In 1894, he was accused of treason, specifically of selling military secrets to the German Empire. The evidence against Dreyfus was flimsy, based on a handwritten document known as the bordereau. Despite the lack of concrete proof, Dreyfus became a scapegoat, a victim of the rampant anti-Semitism in French society. Dreyfus's trial was a travesty of justice, fueled by prejudice and political maneuvering. Found guilty, Dreyfus was publicly humiliated, stripped of his rank, and sentenced to life imprisonment on Devil's Island. The Dreyfus affair deeply divided French society. Among Dreyfus's most vocal supporters was Émile Zola, who penned the famous open letter J'accuse. Published in a leading Parisian newspaper, Zola's letter accused the French government of a massive cover-up. The case became a cause célèbre, attracting international attention and sparking fierce debates about justice and truth. New evidence came to light, revealing that the real culprit was another officer, Major Ferdinand Waldschmidt. MK-Ultra. The human mind, a complex and enigmatic realm, has long been a subject of fascination and exploration. But during the Cold War, this fascination took a dark turn as the United States embarked on a top-secret program that aimed to unlock the secrets of mind control. This program, known as MK-Ultra, was initiated by the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, in the 1950s, at the height of Cold War paranoia. The CIA, concerned about the Soviets' alleged advances in mind control techniques, sought to develop its own methods of manipulating individuals and extracting information from resistant subjects. MK-Ultra was shrouded in secrecy, hidden from public scrutiny, and even from the knowledge of most government officials. The program's existence remained largely unknown until the 1970s, when a series of congressional investigations and lawsuits brought its disturbing activities to light. The experiments conducted under MK-Ultra were often unethical and inhumane, involving the use of unwitting subjects, including CIA employees, military personnel, doctors, other government agents, prostitutes, mentally ill patients, and members of the general public. These unsuspecting individuals were subjected to a battery of mind-altering techniques, including the administration of powerful drugs, particularly LSD, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, and torture. The goal was to break down an individual's personality, to create a blank slate upon which new identities and loyalties could be imprinted. The CIA's interest in LSD was particularly pronounced. The agency believed that the drug's hallucinogenic effects could be harnessed to induce a state of heightened suggestibility, making individuals more susceptible to manipulation. MK-Ultra's experiments were not limited to laboratories and military bases. The CIA also conducted experiments in universities, hospitals, and prisons, often using front organizations and unsuspecting researchers to carry out its clandestine activities. The full extent of MK-Ultra's impact remains unknown. Many of the program's records were destroyed in 1973 on the orders of then CIA Director Richard Helms, making it difficult to piece together the full scope of its activities and their long-term consequences. Project Sunshine. In the wake of World War II, a new threat emerged: radioactive fallout. This invisible danger could contaminate the environment and pose long-term health risks. To understand radioactive fallout, the US government launched Project Sunshine in the 1950s. The focus was strontium-90, a radioactive isotope that can accumulate in bones and increase cancer risk. However, Project Sunshine crossed ethical boundaries. Thousands of human tissue samples were collected without consent. Samples were taken from hospitals, morgues, and funeral homes worldwide. Researchers focused on infants and children, who were more vulnerable to radiation. The project showed a disregard for the dignity of the deceased and their families. The ethical implications came to light in the 1990s, when documents were declassified. Revelations sparked public outrage, leading to congressional hearings. Project Sunshine is a reminder of the importance of informed consent and ethical oversight in research. The truth is out there. As we have journeyed through these unsettling tales, we've witnessed how truth can often be stranger than fiction. These 5 conspiracy theories, once dismissed by some as the ramblings of the paranoid, have been dragged into the light, revealing uncomfortable truths about power, secrecy, and the lengths to which some will go to protect their interests. But beyond the intrigue and the shock, these stories offer a profound lesson. They remind us of the importance of critical thinking, of questioning authority, and of remaining vigilant in the face of those who would manipulate the truth for their own ends. The world is a complex and often shadowy place, but by shining the light of truth into its darkest corners, we can hope to build a future where such stories remain confined to the history books.